date, and we had a little dance party. And I think I hit on my crush, and I don't think it worked out. Actually, I know it didn't work out. It's a complete and utter failure. Couldn't get a guy to save my life. Until grade 9. I'm Emily OBrien.
I was going to introduce you.
Oh.
Emily OBrien for being here with me.
Emily, she has the most incredible stories.
What was that like?
Perfect.
Hi everyone. So I'm sitting here in the storage room at camp because I thought I would just tell some funny camp stories from when I was a child, because you know what, I'm just reminiscing all these great times that I had as a kid. My parents always put me in camps, probably because I pissed them off and because they were really busy. But yeah, so the first story is about a little incident that happened at a camp called Camp Frenda. And my parents signed me up for this, and there were so many activities. Like there's like radio broadcasting, there was like horseback riding, rappelling, like crafts, like swimming. And I guess I decided that, you know, they were very regimented in what campers were at which program. And I was like, well, you know, I'm kind of bored of I think I was in a craft thing, and I just wanted to check out radio broadcasting. So I decided not to tell anyone. I just kind of crashed this radio broadcasting program. Well, I guess the camp counselor, like, I don't know, it didn't really faze him that I wasn't really in that activity. And while all this is going on, there's like not really cell phones back then. So I guess like they thought I was missing. And there's like, I don't know, a couple hundred, like at least 200 kids at this camp. They thought I was missing. There was no like alert to the radio broadcasting little room where we were. And so apparently we leave the room, and apparently they've called divers. They've like searched all around. They were like diving through the water because like they didn't know where I was. And the radio broadcasting program wasn't like a big program, so it's not like everyone's like, oh, like what are you doing here? Like no one even noticed. I don't know. Probably my shitty hair or something. I was just a loser, so no one really cared that I was there. And yeah, the camp went into a minor state of emergency because I didn't declare that I was leaving. So I got like reprimanded for this. Didn't regret it though, because I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life. God, just let me in this radio broadcasting program. Second one is my parents put me in this McMaster fitness camp in Hamilton. And again, there's like all these different sports you can choose. And it's a week long. And so the first day, like one of the activities that everyone has to do is like run around this track. And depending how fast you run around the track, like that's the distance that you have to run like every day for the rest of that week. So say if you ran around the track in like, I don't know, a minute, then you had to run like really far the next day, like because you were like considered a top athlete. And I was like, I want to run, like I'm gonna, you know, show off and show them how fast I can run. Okay, so I did pretty well. I did well, and then like, oh, like you're gonna be doing this every day. I'm like, yeah. And I didn't really want to run the rest of the days, but I just like wanted to clearly show that I could run a race. I don't know, trying to make myself look important. And so the next day, I just like did not feel like running. Like I was like exhausted. The other activities that I was in was like basketball and tennis, and so I was just toast by the time that it came to run. And so I was like, how am I gonna get out of this? Like, what am I gonna do? And so I think it was like the third day that was like, okay, something has to be done. I'm exhausted. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'll just like pretend to like fall and break my ankle. So I just like, when no one was looking, I was running, and then I just like staged this fall on the trail and like pretended to hurt my ankle so that I didn't have to run. And it worked like a charm. I mean, like looking back on it, you know, but I didn't have to run anymore after that. So I considered it to be a successful mission. I don't really remember what happened with the rest of the week. I think I like had to choose like activities that weren't on my feet or something, so that like I wouldn't be like discovered. My ploy wouldn't be discovered. Anyway, what else happened? And then another camp that my parents like. So this in high school, I was just like being a motherfucking hellraiser. I was terrible. I was, doing drugs. I was not coming home. I was sleeping on school roofs, being brought home by police, getting in fights. Actually, it was just one fight, but, parents had just had enough of me, and they were like, all right, you are going to camp. And I was like, I want to hang out with my boyfriend who I'm in love with, and I'm going to marry, that type of stuff. But nevertheless, if I wanted to stay living at home, I had to go to camp. And so I went with my other friend, Emily. And so when we got to this camp, we were just not impressed with the rules. They had this flagpole that you had to run to in the morning, and we were just not having it. And we decided just one day not to go to the flagpole because it was too early. It was 7 a.m. in the morning, and we just weren't having it. We wanted to straighten our hair instead. Priorities. And then we started not stripping, but I definitely was talked to about my lewd behavior. My friend wasn't involved in this, but I definitely I had to have a stern talking to because of my rebelliousness, and I didn't want to participate in the camp. And then they did this mindfulness activity, and I was just a complete jackass, and I was laughing the whole time, and I didn't want to do it. But we did participate in a canoe race, which we won. So despite the lewd behavior, I think that camp was, an overall success. And here I'm at Camp Rebuff, which is a Catholic youth organization camp, and I came here in grade 7 and 8 for a couple days, I think. And I remember I was had the biggest crush on this guy. And we were doing the singing, and we were singing Eve 6, Here's to the Night, and I was oh my God, I'm so in love. But I guess I tried to hit on him that night and tried to tell him I liked him, and he did not return the favor. I just got rejected, and just sad. So I think I went back to my cabin and just put in my Discman and listened to probably some not 9 Inch Nails because it was grade 7, but I don't know, probably listened to some Britney Spears and sulked. So other than that, I think camp has been a really enriching experience for me, and it's just so funny to be back here. And the funny thing is, when I went to prison, I told my parents, don't worry, Mom, it's just going to camp. Everything's going to be fine. And it's kind of, it was like camp. I have a cell phone here, but it's funny camp stories for you. The end. Well, just finished a nice little morning at Wonder Camp. Been in this coat all day. It's raining, but that's okay. And not showing any signs of letting up soon, but that's fine. And I'm sitting in my car for the break. And look, it's not smoke. It's mist. I'm Emily OBrien.
I was going to introduce you.
Oh.
Emily OBrien for being here with me.